From September to January, I had an opportunity to work with 25 leaders at a manufacturing facility, department heads, line leads, operations leaders. And throughout January, each of them presented back on the experience. And as I've had now a couple of weeks since those presentations concluded, I've been reflecting on just how unique and different their presentations were. So here's the thing about these presentations. Each of the 25 leaders were engaged in the exact same development process. 10 one-on-one coaching sessions from September to January. We met every other week. They had 3 focus areas. All of them had 3 focus areas. They were different, but they all had 3 focus areas. You know, at the beginning of the program, I took them through some of the same fundamental tools and exercises. You know, we talked a lot about building trust and getting to know people and being vulnerable and how to demonstrate empathy when you're not feeling it. You know, we watched videos, we looked at tools and talked about proactive versus reactive behavior. And, you know, I wanted to ensure that the foundation was consistent across the process. I also just really took time to hear their story and asked all of them, like, tell me your story. You know, what got you to where you are today? What do you love? What are your passions? And so I ended up, you know, learning a lot about their kids and the things they love to do in life, not just at work, but in life. And, you know, as we continued on, naturally, some engaged in the experience with more rigor and more enthusiasm than others did. And when we got to the end of the program, you know, they all presented back. But in reflecting on the presentations with the HR leader and the plant manager, we realized how the presentations really represented the seriousness with which they took it. You know, there were just a couple of people that phoned it in, you know, showed up with no notes. Someone we even had to like track down, and we said, hey, it's presentation day for you. And he's like, what? Now, what is that again? And yet just about most of them showed up with a slide deck, you know, a PowerPoint presentation that outlined their key takeaways and their learnings. And so why am I telling you all of this? What is the lesson in this story? Is that, you know, the experience for each person, the process that they engaged in was the same, but how they chose to talk about that and reflect on it, completely up to them. And it really represents their takeaways and their learnings, which is different from person to person. That the leaders who took it seriously and wanted to grow, not surprising, had a lot of growth to talk about in that final presentation. So it's a reminder today that your life and your experience is a result of the choices that you make. You know, we're all in this human game. And yes, we have different opportunities and different privileges and different experiences throughout that. But what we choose to do, always 100% within our control. So here's to making the most of your experiences today and always, completely up to you. What a great attitude with which to take care of yourself and ultimately each other.